From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeaux, and this is a special edition of your News 8 Daily and Daybreak Drive-In for Friday, December 12th. Big headline this morning is Indiana senators vote no on redistricting. But before we get to that, snow is here, and you're going to want to know what the snow looks like before you head out the door. So let's get right over to meteorologist Drew Narsudis with the forecast.
For now, we have winter weather advisories. We even have a small chunk of the Hoosier State under a winter storm warning. At the moment, all this is going to be active until at least about 10 o'clock or so. So we will keep an eye on conditions this morning for you. But looks like the heaviest of the snow ended up setting up even further south and southwest than the Bloomington area. Although Bloomington, Indy, Muncie, Lafayette all waking up to some snow. It's not quite the 4 inches we were saying could potentially befall us here in central Indiana. It's looking more like we're getting closer to 1 to 2 for the most part, although a recent band of heavier snow may have changed that here in the Marion County area. Again, the heaviest of the snow down near Bedford and beyond. We'll be covering this all morning long and have another update in just a bit.
We are watching road conditions all morning long. Here with what you need to know ahead of your drive is News 8's Hernan Gutierrez. He hit the road around 4 a.m.
We are driving down east. We're heading south. Probably going to take a trip down to Greenwood and maybe even further out to Bloomington based off of what Drew was telling us. But the roads are a little slushy right now. It does seem like they have had salt put on them at least. As we're heading under this bridge, you can kind of tell the difference of what's going on between the road under the bridge and what's actually been salted. Doesn't seem like plows have been through here, at least in this part of the edge of downtown quite yet. Again, roads are pretty salty, so just be sure to take an extra beat when you're getting ready. When I was kind of brushing off the snow, it was kind of that dry snow, at least in downtown Indianapolis, if that tells you anything about what this snow is like on the ground. Anyways, the Indianapolis Department of Public Works started working on these roads as early as Wednesday morning. They started laying down the salt. It's a standard practice for these truck drivers to be working 12 hours during winter weather like this. Indy DPW spokesperson Adam Pinsker called it an all hands on deck situation.
Started with salting some of the roads, especially the overpasses and bridges, because they can freeze pretty easily. In fact, they freeze faster than just your typical surfaces.
Pinsker added that they've already used more than 8,000 tons of salt throughout Marion County since Thanksgiving, and we're going to keep on monitoring these roads as the snow kind of progresses. Visibility is pretty good early this morning. We can see pretty clearly, and you can kind of see, at least on where we're at right now, half of the road is kind of weird right now. Half of the road is kind of clear, the other half not so much. But really, the thing you should be worrying about on your morning commute would be that slush now that this snow is hitting the ground and mixing with the salt and melting. For now, reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Fernando Gutierrez for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
There is a travel advisory this morning. You can see a map of it on wishtv.com. The counties in orange are under a travel watch, meaning only essential travel is recommended. Right now, only Owen and Orange counties in the southern part of the state are under a watch. Yellow is the lowest level of travel advisory. That means routine travel in some areas may be hazardous. As of now, Hamilton and Boone counties are in yellow. We'll keep an eye, though, on the map all morning long on wishtv.com. You can also keep up with the winter weather on wishtv.com. We've made it easy for you to track the snow as it comes in. You can go to the weather page, or you can just download our Storm Track 8 weather app. Either way, both will show you radar, school closings, tips for packing an emergency kit for your car, and for driving in the snow. I really needed this the other day. I had a flat tire, and it has some good advice. Okay, now redistricting.
Well, we won every other state. That's the only state. It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide, and I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary.
That's President Trump reacting to Indiana rejecting his push to redraw the state's congressional map. This is the first time a Republican-led state has voted against redistricting. News 8 government reporter Garrett Bergquist was at the State House when the vote came down.
The Trump administration spent 5 months pressuring Indiana lawmakers to redraw the maps. That included 2 visits from the vice president and even a phone call from President Donald Trump himself. But that was not enough to convince even a majority of Senate Republicans. This was the moment the vote became official. 19 for redistricting and 31 against.
It's just really scary that that Republicans let them get this far. And I'm thankful for the Democrats who stepped up today and the Republicans who stood their ground against, just overstep.
The vote means your U.S. House district will not change for the 2026 election. The proposed maps would have given Republicans control of all 9 of Indiana's U.S. House seats. Supporters said Indiana had to do that to counter Democratic gerrymandering in other states, such as Illinois and Nevada.
President Trump won that state by 3 points, but 3/4 of their congressional district is Democrat. These guys are playing for keeps. I want to see us on the Republican side fight as hard for our side as they do for theirs.
Hoosier voices are going to be harder to hear. Without this, they're going to be silenced because there will be no conservative voices in Washington, D.C. The few from this state will be yelled and screamed at, not unlike some in our gallery, by the Democrats who will be controlling our Congress.
That was not enough to convince 21 of the Senate's 40 Republicans who voted against the new maps, including Senate Leader Rod Bray.
Clay County residents are unhappy that their county would be drawn into a district with Indianapolis and central Indiana suburbs. There are many in west central Indiana who have not forgotten the Indianapolis-based politicians who secretly planned a LEAP district benefiting Boone County.
For their part, Democrats say the maps would have lumped together communities in different parts of the state with vastly different needs.
When it came to this bill, it really struck a nerve, and we heard that out in the State House today, and we certainly have heard it for the last almost 5 months. And so it's been a win for Hoosiers.
Now, we are already in the 2026 legislative session. As a result, Bray says lawmakers will not be able to consider redistricting again during this session. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Governor Mike Braun is also expressing his disappointment in the Indiana GOP after the vote. He released a statement saying, "I am very disappointed that a small group of misguided state senators have partnered with Democrats to reject this opportunity to protect Hoosiers with fair maps and to reject the leadership of President Trump. Ultimately, decisions like this carry political consequences. I will be working with the president to challenge these people who do not represent the best interests of Hoosiers." Democratic Congressman Andre Carson's 7th district would have been carved up under the failed map. Carson posted to social media after the vote saying, in part, "Indiana is not a rubber stamp for the Trump administration. We are our own state with our own values and priorities. I'm eager to keep working for the people who elected me to serve them, the people of Indiana's 7th district." If you want to see how the senators voted, go to our website, and you can find this story in the As Seen On section. There's a full list there on WishTV.com. In Grant County, prosecutors have charged a man who lived in California with scamming an Indiana man out of more than $230,000. Sheriff's office arrested Tirth Savani in California and brought him to Indiana to face charges. Deputies say Savani convinced a 68-year-old man that he worked for the FBI, and the man sent him the money in gold bars and cryptocurrency. Investigators say Savani told the man his identity had been compromised and that the FBI would protect his assets from theft. Deputies say Savani is from India and was living in the U.S. on a student visa. Here in Indianapolis, IMPD has arrested 2 people for a deadly West Side crash that killed a man yesterday morning. News 8's Malia Van Ostrin says neighbors have been seeing people be reckless in that area before.
I'm at the corner of Lyndhurst in Vermont, where investigators spent hours picking through debris and looking at footage to try to find out what exactly happened. Neighbors tell me that they're concerned about their safety because speeding happens at this area all the time. This security camera video shows the moment a black Mustang smashed into a pickup truck at 8:10 Thursday morning. You can also see a white car that appears to be speeding through the intersection next to the black Mustang. A few seconds later, you can see a white car come back into the frame. A person from the scene of the accident approaches the white car, runs back to the crashed car, and appears to reach for something before hopping into the passenger side of the white car. The white car then drives away. When IMPD arrived on scene, they said they found both the pickup truck and black Mustang mangled. Police say the man in the truck died at the scene. The driver of the Mustang was nowhere to be found. Brittany Wood lives on Lyndhurst and said her son heard the accident.
He said he heard a loud bang noise, and when he went to come downstairs to tell me, at that point was when I had stood up and I had seen the smoke. I mean, I was worried because there's a lot of kids in the area, so I was more worried that maybe there was a kid in the car or something like that. But when I seen it caught on fire and in flames, it was scary. It really was.
Wood says it's scary because her kids get on the bus on that street.
It happens all the time. People speed up and down this road. I mean, I see it all the time. I see it pulling in and out. It's crazy the way people just don't care about how fast they go.
That intersection just north of Rockville Road, where a pedestrian was killed earlier this week, is no stranger to speeding or accidents. A couple whose house was right by the accident say a car flew into their home before. They did not want to do an interview, but said Thursday's accident was especially upsetting because they heard the person in the pickup truck screaming as it was on fire. They said they used their fire extinguisher to try to put out the fire before first responders got there.
It's horrific for this community. We've seen several accidents at this intersection, but thankfully, because of community members, I mean, it's been very critical to our traffic investigations unit that these community members have come forward with video footage. That video footage has solved several accidents at this location. We hope that to be the case today as well.
Thompson urges drivers to be more aware of their actions when they're on the roads, especially as roads get slick during the winter.
Let's not forget that when we don't take responsibility, lives can be lost. We see behind me here, right? A life lost.
In Indianapolis, I'm Aaliyah Van Ostrand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Sports now, IU quarterback Fernando Mendoza picks up yet another award as he waits to see whether he'll take home the Heisman. The Associated Press named Mendoza as its Player of the Year yesterday. He picked up 32 of the 51 first-place votes, beating out Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia. Notre Dame's running back Jeremiah Love was third in the voting. Big night for Mendoza is tomorrow in New York City. Sports State Director Anthony Calhoun is on his way to New York City right now. We saw him this morning leaving. He's going to be there for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. We'll have live coverage from AC starting at 5 o'clock tonight on Wish TV. Cold temps are on the way, and the Carmel Christkindlmarkt is changing its hours this weekend due to the frigid temperatures. Organizers posted on social media saying it will close early tomorrow and be closed on Sunday. Hours on Saturday now are noon to 7 p.m. The Christkindlmarkt says the freezing temperatures makes their equipment stop working, and they believe it will be too cold for people to enjoy the market. National news now, 6 more states are placing bans on what food can be bought with food stamps. In total, 8 states will soon prohibit the use of SNAP benefits to buy soda, energy drinks, candy, and prepared desserts. Department of Agriculture has been approving waivers for the ban since May. The restrictions will mostly go into effect next year, affecting around 14 million people. Time magazine has named the architects of artificial intelligence as the Person of the Year. The magazine says 2025 was the year when the potential of AI roared into view with no turning back. Article emphasizes that the individuals behind the technology, rather than the technology itself, are selected for the honor because they imagined, designed, and built the technology. Tomorrow is your final day to help bring in toys for our Wish Tree campaign. Here's Sarah Hastings with more about it and how you can help.
I'm Tara Hastings. We are in downtown Indianapolis at the Bank of Indianapolis as we are in the final push for our Wish Tree campaign, the Toys for Tots. And we have Doug Talley here with us, the Chief Banking Officer. And you've got a couple of bins here full of toys.
We do.
How does it make you feel to see these bins filled up here with the Bank of Indianapolis?
Fantastic, because these are going to be a lot of kids that may not have toys for this holiday season. This is going to make a difference in their world and how they feel. And it just feels good to know that a kid that may not have it is going to have it, and they're going to feel good about it.
And the Bank of Indianapolis, you're really kind of rallying all of your 13 locations, right? Maybe a little friendly competition?
Yeah, there is a competition. Now, our Castleton Banking Center, Nicole Buchan, the manager up there, they're really out there. They've got over 1,000 toys up there, and they're hoping for 1,200 by the end of the week. So they're kind of winning by a wide margin. But yeah, they're all kind of competing with each other to see who can get the most.
How important is it for the Bank of Indianapolis to do these things in the community?
Oh, it's the foundation of what this bank was built on. We were founded in 1993 with the purpose of supporting the community and building the community and interacting with it. Financially, volunteer-wise, just interacting and building those relationships and growing the community that we live in. That's why we were formed.
Oh, Doug, all right, thank you so much for all of your efforts, your customers' efforts, the employees' efforts.
We have customers coming in writing checks to the banking centers.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, we are running out of time, so head to our website, wishtv.com, and you can give a monetary donation. I'm Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.